Men give birth. This Father's Day, we're talking about seahorses. You're so woke, Abby. I can be woker. There are only 4 species on the planet where men get pregnant: pipefish, seahorses, sea dragons, and humans. Your daily reminder that trans men are men.
Put the glasses away, our Pride episode was last week.
It's always Pride. It is always Pride. On that note, seahorses are also bisexual. But back to fathers. Male seahorses, like Sebastian here, have what's known as a brood pouch. The female deposits the eggs into the male's pouch, where he then seals it up, releases sperm, and carries the embryos until they develop into fully formed baby seahorses. The male then goes into painful contractions and gives birth just like a human. I didn't know humans gave birth to 2,000 babies at once. That's why seahorses are super dads. No super endings for these super dads, though. Due to climate change, Chinese medicine, and the curio trade, seahorses will be extinct in 30 years. Bad Bethany, no bummer beagle today. You should have seen the look on your face. Because thanks to conservation, only 2 of the 42 seahorse species are considered endangered. Woohoo! But our work isn't done. All about Seahorse Dads up next. Welcome to Small Anthropoids. Anyone who has had the pleasure or displeasure of standing in a conversation with me for more than 5 minutes knows my Roman Empire is seahorses. Or maybe you don't. Now you know. I blame National Geographic. A little over a year ago, when I was procrastinating writing, an article popped up in my inbox about seahorses. I read it. Fast forward 14 months, I now have a 50-gallon with 3 of my own. Needless to say, it was a pretty rockin' article. I hope I can do it half justice now. Seahorses are layers upon layers more fascinating than what meets the eye. I want to share with you a little bit about why, what I've learned as a passionate owner, and hopefully get you even just a little excited that these amazing palm-sized creatures exist in our big blue world. So this Father's Day, we're talking about seahorse dads. Nature has cropped up some pretty amazing dads. Red foxes lovingly dote on their cubs, playing with them and providing food. And golden lion tamarins, another type of anthropoid, or monkey, dads carry the kids on their back almost 24/7, only passing them to the mother for nursing. Flamingo dads are true feminists. They are one of the rare animals that cares for the young as equally as the mother. No dad is more devoted than the emperor penguin dad, who stands with the kiddo for 2 months on his toes, not even moving to eat. Human dads are also pretty amazing. Although, of course, there are some bad eggs out there. Bethany and I were fortunate to get one of the best. Hi, Dad. I'm on a podcast. But seahorse dads are on a whole other level. There are 8.7 million species living on Earth today. Seahorse dads are only one of 4 who give birth to young. You may be thinking, wait, if seahorse dads give birth, wouldn't they actually be moms or females? Maybe we just got it wrong. No. For purposes of seahorses, males are identified as the sex that releases sperm. Because the male seahorse releases sperm once the eggs reach his pouch, he is considered male. That's all there is to it. So, why? Why do males give birth? Again, less than 0.0005% of males give birth on planet Earth. What advantage does it give the seahorse that everyone else is missing? For that, you have to look at the female seahorse reproduction cycle. In line seahorses, or the common seahorse, it takes approximately 21 days for the female to produce the next batch of eggs. So, if the male were to simply fertilize the eggs and let the female carry them in pregnancy, after the female gives birth, it would take another 21 days for her to create new eggs. For a species that, in the wild, lives for only a year, every 5 days for a seahorse is equivalent to 1 year of a human lifespan. Therefore, seahorses can't wait 4 years between batches to have babies. They gotta get busy now. So, why do males get pregnant? Because the female seahorse can start working on the next batch of eggs. And guess how long pregnancy lasts in males? You guessed it, exactly 21 days. These creatures have perfectly synced their gestation and ovulation time so that they can produce the maximum amount of offspring in their short lives. When a seahorse only lives a year, and when, from a batch of 250 to 2,000 fry, only 1 baby survives to adulthood, they gotta keep her moving. Another fascinating fact about seahorses is just how much time they spend courting. Although seahorses in captivity are not monogamous, nor straight, the Christians were onto something when they used seahorses to represent marriage fidelity. because wild seahorses are some of the most loyal partners out there. One adaptation they've evolved is holding hands, tails. Although seahorse fins move as fast as a hummingbird's, they are also the worst swimmer in the ocean. With so few mate options around, if they lose their mate, they probably won't find another. Therefore, and I can attest to this, you will often see them hold hands, or hold tails, so that if one of the pair gets washed out to sea, the second will stay with them every step of the way. Another insanely cool adaptation in courting they've evolved is what's known as the morning dance. Seahorses love to dance. Most animals do when it comes to courting. But this dance for seahorses is love in its purest form. Sort of. Meaning, they don't do it with the intention of sex. Because seahorses camouflage like chameleons, they separate at night to look most like coral or macroalgae. But the moment the light hits the water, or in my case, tank, the couple wakes up, spirals around each other in glee, then land on the same branch. We aren't really sure why they do this, but we think it is to reinforce their bond. From personal experience, though, it certainly looks like a dance of, "Hey, you survived the night and I'm so happy to see you." The courting list goes on. The female gives the male a morning hug every day that he's pregnant. The female perches close and watches in agony as the male gives painful birth. They dance in actual mating, young romantic couples sometimes taking hours to do the deed. Although seahorses don't care for their young after they're born, they still show great tolerance toward them, and even let them latch all over their bodies while they learn to be, well, seahorses. The dad can sometimes be seen giving birth, mating, re-impregnated, and perching patiently with dozens of newborns crawling all over him in a single day. That's one super dad. Of course, this mostly changes when they are brought into captivity. Captivity is tricky. We don't want to discomfort animals for the benefit of human goggling, but it increases the lifespan of a seahorse by up to 700% and allows them to be in a community with several seahorses, of which scientists agree they are most happy. That said, seahorses are incredibly difficult to take care of, and even when you think you have all your bases covered, it's still heartbreakingly easy to slip up. So please, if you do not have the time or resources to ensure these animals have the best life possible, do not purchase them. That said, because seahorses are so shy in the wild, it's really beautiful to see them open up and their personalities bloom in captivity. Seahorse dads like Sebastian, my male seahorse, are incredibly smart and have eyesight sharp enough to recognize not only their mate, but their handler as well. He'll not only dance for his partner, but also dance for me to communicate hunger. He even makes clicking and growling noises if you listen closely. Clicking to tell his mate that he has found food, growling when I am giving him medical care to warn his mate to stay away and stay safe. This isn't exclusive to the male sex, and the female seahorse will do the same for him. But the list goes on. I could fill up several podcasts with how amazing these creatures are, but I will leave you with this. While I don't encourage you to run out and buy a live seahorse, keep them in your minds and in your hearts. If buying seafood this weekend for Father's Day, look for sustainably sourced or farm-raised fish, as seahorses are often bycatch and mass-produced seafood. Do not buy dried seahorses as souvenirs. I know they look cool. I've even had one in the past. Don't do it. That was once a live seahorse, and its purchase pulls another live seahorse out of the ocean and kills it too. If you go to China or come across any medicine or supplements online that have seahorses as an ingredient, do not purchase it. Seahorses have no medicinal value, and this contributes to the greatest loss of life in the seahorse population. Finally, and most importantly, keep being excited about them. I know life is hard, and it's easy to forget how incredible our world is sometimes. Seahorses are one of those little miracles of life for me. That grown, wild seahorse you see? His survival was 1 in 250. His partner? Her survival was also 1 in 250. The fact that they found each other, and now the male, one of the only in the animal kingdom, is able to get pregnant so that the female can make the next generation? They are odds-defying in every sense of the word, and that is incredible. That's our show. Happy Father's Day to all of the amazing dads out there. Stay curious. We hope any feelings of small were not scary. Take care, small anthropoids.